Hello, mate. How's it going?
How's it going, pal?
Welcome to the crib.
Thank you, man.
So what do you want to talk about?
Just all the general stuff because we haven't seen each other for so long, right?
Yeah, no, we've seen each other quite a bit since you've been here.
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, what's going on at the moment with you? You're doing a lot of stuff. What's happening? What are you up to at the moment? I know we just came back from Christmas, but what is your January plan? What sort of things projects, stuff are you doing at the moment?
Right, so yeah, been based in Germany.
Yeah.
With my brothers out there, obviously MIK doing our thing. And with that being said, it's things like a lot of content creation, like on the Instagram we're doing a lot. Just finished filming a movie out there, a dance movie that's going to come out this summer, I guess, if everything works out fine. Done a tour with an artist, quite a big artist in Germany. Shout out Ricky Deeds, Peter Fox, all these guys. Yeah, more so moving in these type of areas. Also still training my freestyle, hip hop, light feet. Yeah, also hit a few battles abroad, like funking styles.
That's what you're gonna do this year?
No, last year I went funking styles.
Right.
Yeah, funking styles and some other ones that I can't think of right now.
Yeah. So is that like you kind of keeping the same sort of plan, like building on these projects, or do you have new things coming up, or?
Yeah. So right now it's like these projects that we done last year kind of are longer term. Like for example, the tour we did with the artists, we're going to be doing some more festivals and some more music videos with them, trying to grow as a collective. Yeah. So, and in terms of with things like light feet and stuff, just keep training, trying to build more the light feet community, for example, in Germany. And with the acting, obviously, I don't know what opportunities will come from that once the movie is out. I definitely would love to do more acting. Yeah,
tell us about the movie. Cool. So what was the whole deal with that? How did that come about? Because wait, let's go back first of all. So you were born where?
I was born in Germany.
Okay, cool.
Yes, born in Germany.
Then where I met you was in Watford.
In Watford, that's right.
And when did you move to Watford?
We moved to Watford in 2009.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I must have been like 10 or something like that, around that age, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Moved to Watford with my parents.
But not with Isaac?
Not with Isaac and Prince. They were old enough to stay in Berlin.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the youngest, so
yeah, because I met obviously your older brother first, and he came to Watford. I don't know at what point, but he came for a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
that was like 2012 or 11, I think.
Yeah, we saw him at a battle in Trocadero, and he just came up to us, I think, and was like, "Hey, bro, you live in Watford?" And then next thing I know, they brought him to training, and then he became friends. And then it was actually only after he left that me and you became friends, or that you like stayed and hung out with us and trained. But I think you were also quite young when Isaac was here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
He must have been like, what, 14 or something?
Yeah, 14, 15. So yeah, we moved to Watford.
Yeah.
2009. Been living in Watford ever since. Done my studies and whatnot here in England as well. And then during that time, Isaac came, met you guys. I was dancing back in Germany still. Yeah. But it wasn't.
You weren't like big into it.
Yeah, like I loved dancing. I was going. It was that what I wanted to do as well, kind of thing. But not until like I hit like 15, that's when I really took on the journey of wanting to get better, trying to excel, and that type of thing. And that's when I started getting closer to you guys as well, because I knew you were in Watford.
And it's around the corner.
Yeah.
And we were also super dope. That's what you mean?
Yeah.
He's like, the reason I hang out with you guys because it was convenient. It was convenient. I really would have loved to train with someone else, but you guys are around.
The only ones there.
Yeah, I didn't have to take the underground to get there.
No, obviously.
No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
So then obviously, you stayed in Watford. We've done loads of stuff together and whatever, and you've done your own stuff here. But how long have you been back in Berlin now for good?
Since I moved back to Berlin last year.
Okay.
So, last year.
Like kind of this time last year, or?
It's January, right?
Yeah.
January 2020.
Yeah.
So I'd say about like March, May times maybe, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe like just under a year, you mean?
Yeah, maybe just under a year.
Okay.
But I've been back and forth as well. More times just back and forth, but mainly staying in Germany. Okay. So that's why it's like...
you're always a bit...
Every now and then people see me.
Because your family's still here.
Yeah, my parents are still here.
Come
my
here
little
and
siblings.
Right. So you come here and see them.
Yeah.
And then you're back in Germany in your own place.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So then, all right. So how did it go from, okay, I'm 15 and I want to start dancing, and now you're like in a movie? Where did that come from?
Well, so obviously come from the battle scene.
Yeah.
Just in the battle scene, I feel like teaches you a lot of discipline anyway, to like kind of better yourself, and that also kind of transfers onto life as well. So
Okay.
when it was from training every day, I realized, okay, I need to do my studies as well if I want to have like a bigger plan or have it as a backup or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a lot of training, connections, meeting people, you know.
So it kind of happened organically.
It happened organically, I'd say.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, oh, I got an agent and that agent like booked me for this movie or something like that.
Yeah, no.
It was
It's
more
like,
just like they found you from.
yeah, like I have a friend out in Germany called Pepita. She's a choreographer.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've done a job before that, I think the month before, 2 months before that. And yeah, we connected really well. I liked her stuff, she liked my stuff. And then she's the choreographer of the movie. So she suggested me to the director. The director really liked me, went for the audition.
And when she suggested you, it was for the role that you eventually got, or?
No. What I went to audition for was the main role. I didn't get the main role.
Okay.
Because I was like the main role was meant to be like 15, 16 in the movie, and I'm obviously
yeah. How
that
tall are
didn't
you,
work
by the
out.
way, for people that you're sitting
I'm like
down?
6'3".
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6'3".
And you've been hitting the gym, obviously.
Not much. Every now and then.
Yeah. But enough that you can't play 15 anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they gave me another role that said that I would perfectly fit into.
Okay.
That's like, yeah, pretty cool role. I felt it didn't feel alien to me. The role.
What was the role?
Basically, I'm a duo. We're called Joe and Pepper. I'm Pepper. We're part of the street dance scene. We really know the street dance scene, and the main role is also in the street dance scene. He's kind of part of a clique, but then again, he's not. He's in his own world, but he's just always around us, type of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, say we're a street dance clique.
Yeah.
Joe and Pepper are like the leaders of the street dance clique, and we have Marlon, and he's just always in the room, for example, but he's not really with us all the time. But he's just there, kind of, you know. So that's kind of the role that I play.
And you've never done any acting before this?
Nah.
And they knew that?
Yeah. Definitely.
And like when you went to do the audition and shit, did you have to act? Like, or was it more like dance and then we'll do the rest? Or it was like, no, do an acting scene? And
yeah, we started with the acting scene.
Okay.
Which I feel like I messed up a lot on, but I don't know what this, like, they must have seen something that worked for them.
Like, well, yeah.
Yeah. Right. It was funny because I kept messing up the text.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like as in forgetting the lines or what?
I kept mixing it up. I think what was meant
and obviously for context, this is in German.
Yeah, this is in the movie's in German. Yeah,
which is your first language.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just making it worse. I'm like, so for context, it wasn't in your second language, so you got no excuse. No.
Yeah, but the thing is, at this point, because obviously I studied here and all these type of things, so I feel like I can even articulate myself better in English now than
than in German. Oh shit!
Because
so did that affect you doing the script? You mean?
It wasn't even that. I feel like when I act, like, I still need to, of course that comes with experience, but I still need to learn how to like control my emotions and still remember the script type of thing, you know? Because I kept getting the words mixed up and stuff, but they weren't too fixed on me getting all the words perfect, but they wanted to see more of the emotions and how I appear on screen and things like that.
Well, I guess with, I know fucking nothing, but I guess with film, it's like, they can always do the take again. It's not like a play,
right?
Where you have to be able to get all your lines right the whole way through.
Yeah.
Whereas film, it's like, okay, he fucked up the line, but like if he gets it right, it will be a banger kind of thing. So
exactly, yeah.
Fair enough.
And it ended up working really well. So
yeah. Okay, sick. And how long were you filming that?
It wasn't long, you know. It was like a month that we were filming.
Okay. And it's like a street dance based movie kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty ordinary story. It's like nothing spectacular, but it just hasn't been in Germany before.
Yeah, so it's like all German based, all filmed in Germany.
Yeah.
And it's like set in Germany as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Sick. So was I going to ask you anything else about that? I'm not sure. So yeah, that's coming out when?
That is coming out, I think just before summer, they said.
Okay.
But they haven't given us any updates yet, but I feel like it is from what I remember what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then obviously you're kind of open to like if more stuff comes from that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I had a cracking time out there.
Yeah. Bloody wonderful time, mate.
It was good. Definitely a good experience, man.
Sick.
Because I feel like us dancers, we're kind of used to also being in front of cameras and whatnot. If you've done music videos and whatnot, and also with like some of the modeling that I did, I already did feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, so that wasn't so alien to you.
Yeah.
And I guess being in a street dance movie, it's not like they're asking you to like method act being the Joker, or you know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is kind of like my life. I just have to like say a few pre-written lines, kind of thing. So I can imagine that's not as like scary as doing something else could be. Would you do other shit? Like if they were like do like a completely
the thing is, I can imagine that it would be hard, but obviously hard's not going to stop me from trying to, for new opportunities type of thing. I can imagine it'd be hard if I had to do like some play a psycho or something.
But is that something you think you'd enjoy?
Yeah, I feel like, I would, because it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and it's not impossible or whatnot. It's just, I just need to do it. Yeah. So it's definitely something new, and I would be open to that.
I mean, it would be great for the podcast if you went on to be a famous movie star, and then people came and this went viral. That'd be great. So if you could, for me, thanks.
I'll try my best, bro.
Appreciate it.
You know,
that's a real friend. Okay, cool. And then so you moved back to Berlin at like some point in the last year and a half, we're saying, and your brothers are out there. Yeah. So you got a younger brother, Lennox.
My younger one is here.
Oh, and he's here.
Yeah.
And then you got two older brothers in Berlin.
Germany, in Berlin.
Cool, and that's Isaac and Prince.
Isaac and Prince also dances,
And like together, you're like MIK is your group, but it's not only family people in MIK, right?
Not only family people.
Who else is in MIK?
So,
and how did they get there? If it because it started off as a family thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. So, well, if I just go back,
tell me the story.
So, MIK started 2006 originally as a Crump crew. That's why MIK, Monsters and Crump. Yeah. And we were a bunch of people just dancing in the youth center that Prince was working at. Okay. Crumping after a while transitioned to go into hip hop. So obviously life happens. Some people jump off, do other things. It's cool. And then we were like, I think we were like 6 people. And then 2 more jumped off. It
was like already a crew, or was more still just like a group of friends kind of thing?
We were already a crew, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by that time we were already a crew. Yeah. But a bunch of people jumped off, and then in like 2 years ago, I say, or 2-3 years ago, we were 4 people: me, Prince, Isaac, and Richie. Yeah, and then
Richie's not related to you; he's just a friend.
Richie's not related to us, but we've known him like since a long time. Yeah, for a very long time. That type of thing. And then I think last year or 2 years ago, we got 2 new people, Gifty MIK and James MIK, and the third person that we recruited last year, in the middle of last year, Nelsus MIK.
Yeah, so Nelsus I know. Yeah. I know of Gifty through various people, but I haven't met her. And then James I never met.
So now we're 7 people,
Okay, so how did you go from like the 4, and especially like it being like a close-knit family, people that were all trained together, what made you like bring the others in? Was it more like business, or like were you trying to like get things in the crew that you didn't have, or was it more that they were just around and like the more they kind of became family, you put them in the crew?
Right. Like
what I'm asking is, how can I get in? No,
bro, you're already in.
Okay, so it's on camera. Yeah, go on.
It's like a mixture of things, I say. Because at that point, obviously, we were 4 people. Isaac was out in LA in that time. Like 3 of us.
Living his best life. Wearing bare vests.
If you got his Instagram, you know. Like, 3 people, 3 out of 4 are studying and stuff. So we're all like a crew, family. We know we're family, but kind of also doing our own thing, trying to hold it together, which worked good, but which also worked well. But we felt like, okay, we want to get bigger. We want to go into different things as well. So we kind of need to also be open to letting other people in. Yeah. Because we have so many people around us that grew up around us and stuff like that. But it was always like, oh, this is MIK. And we have like different just people around us that know are part of the kind of MIK thing, MIK movement, but we never labeled them MIK now, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, even though like functionally they were part of the family, but you weren't giving them the official title kind of thing. Okay.
Exactly. So after a while, it was like, okay, we want to get to another level. We want to do new things. So we need kind of also new people. And it wasn't even new people because most of them were around us.
Yeah, right.
They were around
so it wasn't
us
such a hard thing of like, oh, let's look for new people.
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
more like that.
So that's why I say it was like a mixture. So the first one that we took on, the first two people were James and Gifty. And Gifty also has history with us, like with Prince mostly.
Okay.
Prince is the head of MIK.
He's the oldest brother.
Yeah, oldest brother, and he's the one that made MIK. They already had a history. And
how do you mean history? You make it sound like the
like some mad stuff.
Yeah, some like they had some history. It was like romance and then war no.
It's like they from the battle scene. Like from what Gifty said, is she always looked up to Prince.
Okay.
Because Prince, when he was battling as one of like the first generation hip hop battlers in Germany, he was Gifty would look up to people like Prince. Yeah. So
I remember seeing Prince. There was a battle at, I think, Express Your Style.
Express Your Style, yeah.
And was it him and P-Dog?
Yeah.
In the finals against...
Aldo in UK.
No, was it? Or was it... I'm going to look it up right now.
I think it is.
Benefit.
Express Your Style. It must be, if I'm not
It was
mistaken.
either them or like...
Or Nyako or something.
Fabrice and Cannon or...
I don't think it was
I think you're right. It was Aldo in UK.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch a lot of like Express Your Style at one point was like one of the bigger like things in Europe. I'm just gonna check and make sure.
I think it was that. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. I think you're right. Cool. This is just I typed in Prince and P-Dog, and this is lots of dogs. Cool.
Well, if you type like
Express your. At some point, we're going to get to the point where this can be put up on the screen on the video, but we're not there yet. We're still growing, guys. Give me a chance.
What's his pen?
There you go. Yeah, this one. P-Dog. Yeah, you were right. He was right, guys. Everyone, he was right. So this was 2011 hip hop final at Express Your Style, and I remember watching this because I was looking for battles to go to in 2010 or something, and that's when I found Express Your Style. So then I remember seeing that, but I never knew that was your brother until way later. But yeah, so anyway, all that to say, I remember seeing your brother way back battling and stuff. So that's cool. So Gifty looked up to him from that time. Yeah.
And even when she used to come over to Berlin, like Prince would always take care of her and things like that.
Oh, nice.
And then so
because where's she from?
She's from Hamburg.
Okay.
Hamburg. So that's like 3 hours from Berlin.
Right.
And then after a while, like a couple years later, you always see each other at events and whatnot. And then eventually she would do quite a lot of jobs with us.
Okay.
Yeah, and people saw that her energy matched with us. So after a while, it was like, okay, we're at that point where we said, okay, we need, like, let's utilize everything that we have around us. Like, let's make this grow. Let's get into bigger things. And it's showing like it's.
And part of that was bringing in people that were bringing in nice energy and stuff.
Right, like Gifty, Nelsus, James.
Yeah. Because Nelsus was like, you guys were battling together for a while first, right? It wasn't like he was in at MIK and then you decided to be partners, or was it?
Oh no! With Nelsus, we were. With Nelsus, the journey began with light feet. So like he wanted to learn some light feet and whatnot. We used to lab together, and then it just came to that we done events together, like battles and whatnot. Yeah,
and you guys did some good shit this year, right? You were.
Yeah, Flavorama.
Yeah,
for example.
I feel like you had a few like impactful battles for you guys.
Definitely, yeah.
Like that one, you and Nels against Cozy and Tomo.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
I really love watching that. Like even like. It doesn't even matter, like the level was dope anyway, but just that was nice vibes.
Right.
So yeah, I like that.
That was a good moment.
But yeah, you guys were killing that day. You lost in the finals, huh?
Yeah, against
wasn't it some dudes from Italy?
And some from Italy. Like,
yeah,
that was dope. So yeah, we were battling, and then after a while, it was just like he vibed so well with the whole fam. He's in the house that we all train in called Grenzali 5.
What's like a training space?
Yeah, training spot where we all at. He comes to that space. Yeah. So it just made sense again.
He's around everyone anyway.
Exactly. And James, same thing really. He's been around for years as well, training in that house. He kind of grew up in that house as well. And we were battling for quite a bit as well as like partners type of thing. And then he jumped into the crew too. So yeah,
Sick.
yeah, man.
So the idea is kind of just pushing MIK and making it bigger and stuff. And
Yeah, and also like, because we don't really just want to be seen as like just a dance crew type of thing. That's why we also like say organize events. Like we got a dance festival that we organize, a CDC festival. Then we have like parties that we also organize, and like concerts that we also organize,
as well as dance classes and shows,
as well as
like
dance classes and shows. So we're trying to go different directions.
What's the reason behind that? Like, is it a thing of like, okay, we're going to set up this thing where we can all live off this, and it's more like the business empire that you're building,
right?
Or is it more like there's stuff that you're interested in, you know, like that you guys particularly want to do, or what's the kind of drive behind expanding?
Yeah, so I think we all heard it, like when people ask you what do you do, you say you're a dancer. It's like, oh, so how do you live off dancing type of thing? It's
and
like,
everyone says we don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and we know there's many ways to live off dancing if you really put your head to it and you really have the right mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
So for us, it's like, okay, we've been doing this for quite a long time now, about 15 years now. And it's like, we're all getting older. So this is what we love. And we're trying to live off it as well. And we're like...
Yeah, there's a point where it comes where like going and training and doing battles and
it's not
for free. It's like, you're kind of like, all right, I'm an adult now. I need money. I need to pay my bills. Yeah.
Right. Also part of it. And then we thought, okay, we need to build something. We need to be our own brand. We need to be our own type of also business for the outside people, potential other organizations that want to work together, that they don't just see us as a dance crew, but see us as a potential customer, potential client, people that they want to work with, you know, on same eye height, and not just be like, oh, it's us, I don't know, whatever,
like trying to take advantage
and the
of
dancers, you know. So it's like actually be our
like
own
self-sufficient and like being able to, like you said, come at eye level from them.
Right.
That's smart. And what's the dance scene like in Berlin? Do you find that it's a bit easier to do that than it would be, say, for here or in Paris, where there's like big dance scenes, or do you feel like it's still a lot of competition?
I feel like Berlin is growing. Like Berlin has a lot of commercial opportunities for dancers, for sure. Underground wise, it's still growing because we don't have as much advantage as, for example, dancers in west of Germany that are right next to, say, France and Holland, that like they're like 1 hour away from Holland on a train or whatever, can just train with the scene out there.
Okay.
You know, Berlin's like quite big in itself, and you would imagine that there's a lot of dancers just there, you know. But the underground scene is still growing. Definitely, it's right now at a good place. I feel like, but commercial wise and government wise, I feel like when it comes for funding for artists and stuff like that, we're still a bit behind to, like, say, I feel like UK and France and stuff.
Is that for hip hop, or do you find would it be the same
hip-hop.
for like contemporary and ballet and stuff?
For hip hop,
right.
Yeah, for hip hop.
I mean, I guess that's the same with a lot of the world, that like the hip hop,
it's still,
as hip hop becoming like an institution like ballet and contemporary and stuff, is taking a bit longer. Obviously, it's newer by quite a few 100 years, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, I guess that's natural. But yeah, so like that's kind of on the come up in Berlin, of like being able to get actual legit opportunities through hip hop and stuff, right?
Exactly. So for, like I said, funding, things like that, I feel like we're still a little bit behind, and that's why a lot of people that come from the like hip hop background or whatnot, a lot of them maybe not see the opportunities because they're discouraged by the fact that, okay, there's not many people around us that have made it through dancing or things like that.
So it doesn't make you want to try.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like people like us or Flying Steps and stuff like that are really went in.
Because Flying Steps are doing a lot, right? Commercially. They had that tour. I don't know.
Flying Illusion. They've done a few things. So you need people like that to show, okay, you can live off this. You can really do it, even though Germany's still a little bit behind.
Is Flying Steps Berlin?
Yeah, Flying Steps in Berlin. Exactly.
And do you feel like they kind of, like you kind of follow a bit in their footsteps with that, and they kind of gave you a little bit of like an inspiration? Or are you guys in a similar generation, or how does that? Yeah,
well, Flying Steps came before MIK. I think it's like 1996 or something.
I remember Flying Steps when I first started. They were like,
definitely they were there before us.
Were they a b-boy crew originally?
B-boy crew.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then now they're definitely like an inspiration.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way.
To like kind of doing something beyond just battling.
Exactly.
Because haven't they got a school as well?
A school.
Right. Is that kind of the route you want to go?
Yeah. So when another company comes to Flying Steps, they wouldn't just be like, oh, it's just these dancers, because they know they do a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
They have their own like brand. You know, it's not something.
Yeah.
Where you can just like degrade their value type of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's definitely like inspiration when you look at, and they're very successful with that. But I feel like we still have kind of like our own lane.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it's like that kind of inspiration of like, oh, these are other dancers that haven't just stuck to their lane of dancing, and like they can go out and do bigger things and more like
theatre, dance schools, movies, like they're doing a bunch of things. So that's definitely
sick.
Good to see.
All right, sick. So let's talk about your social media, sir. Because, like, I guess talking about the rise of like MIK and you guys trying to push stuff, it's like also I guess it's been the last couple of years that your social media I feel like has blown up a bit. Would you say the last couple of years?
Yeah, the last couple of years. Yeah.
Talk to me about that, because you're like 16,500 followers, right?
Right now,
which is like in social media numbers, you're like, oh yeah, 16.5, but if you think about 16.5 thousand people, that's a lot of people. If you think about all those concert, people, in a concert, that would be a lit concert. But it's like, sometimes I think about this shit on social media, and it's like, I know not everybody's like, not all of those 16.5 are watching everything, but that's still a lot of fucking people watching your your Insta.
Yeah.
How did that, like, did you do that on purpose? Did it just happen? Like, did you think, oh, I'm going to grow my social media this year? Or did it just blow up out of...
I feel like we saw that there's opportunities in social media, especially like for dancers.
Yeah.
Like the time that we live in now, it's like, it's quite blatant. I think a lot of people know this. And we thought, okay, we're going to use all opportunities that there are. So social media was one of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't the sole purpose to just be like, let's get like all the followers in the world or whatnot. Yeah. But
like it was for a reason of like, let's use this as a tool.
Let's use this as a tool to create more opportunity.
Yeah. And
we did this by saying, okay, we like bringing out content, being creative and things like that. And we just did that like by doing videos, you know, trying to build that, and it worked because...
And how much like, so kind of give me some details, because like I was talking about this the other day with social media of like, it's crazy how many of us like live on social media and use it, like we would say like use it for business and stuff like that and blah blah blah, but it's crazy how hardly any of us, I don't think, or people that I'm around know what the fuck they're doing on social media. Like they're just like copy and I'm doing it, like copy and pasting hashtags that are kind of relevant and like posting stuff and be like, oh, I need to post this on this day and post this on this day. But it's like, who said, like, there's no strategy. We're just thinking we know what we're doing. And it's like, for some of us, that's like our biggest tool and like our biggest thing where we're advertising and stuff like that. But we kind of, I feel like anyway, there's this thing of social media where for, I want to say our generation, but I'm a little bit older than you, but like, I'd say my generation, it's like a bit of shame in like, trying hard on social media. It's like, oh no, I don't love it, but I just use it. You know, it's like, it's like we all fucking love it. Like let's not pretend. Like we all love social media, but also we all love to complain about social media. So it's like when we're using it in this business way, people are spending all this time on it, but without actually understanding what they're doing. Like I didn't know. I was watching a video the other day about how you're supposed to research each hashtag that you use, and like it has to do with the engagement, and if you land yourself in the top 9 searches,
right,
when someone searches that hashtag, the aim is that you want to be one of the top 9 posts in that hashtag. So it's not always like just putting a hashtag that gets loads of views, because then you'll never be in the top 9 because those videos are so popular. So you find that middle, like,
it's crazy.
I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, like I thought you just fucking put like hashtag dance, hashtag guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just crazy. So how much depth did you go into to get, I mean, 16.5 is a pretty reputable following. And also I was checking earlier today, that like you're getting good engagement. Like you're getting like 1,000 or so likes on most of your posts, which is, I guess, a well, I mean, compared to the full following, that's not a great percentage, but it's still pretty decent compared to what most people get. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So how in depth do you go in like researching and understanding social media and go, or is it just kind of like, let's post cool shit and hope people like it?
At the beginning, it was kind of what you just said.
Yeah.
Let's post cool shit and just hope that it grows.
Yeah.
You know, people catch on to it.
And even with that, were you paying attention to trends and stuff like, oh, these type of videos are going viral, or it was just what we find cool?
So what we did a lot was seeing what worked for like previous videos that we've done.
Yeah.
Seeing that, okay, this one worked, like seeing why this one popped up more off than another video that we've done and things like that. And we thought, we saw some common traits.
Yeah. Like what sort of things were you paying attention to?
Like for example, keeping it in a square.
Yeah.
Always works better than if you have like the long type of thing. I
think that's something to do with how much space on the screen it fills up. That's what I heard. Like, for example, if my phone is like this, I was gonna, like, the camera's there, but like if you're doing a video that's like that, you're only using this much of the space. But when you use the square or the portrait mode, it fills up this much of your screen,
right?
And it like catches your attention ever so slightly more. That's what I read. I don't know shit, so I could be wrong. But
we just found out, okay, when we posted videos like that, it worked more. I don't know the exact reason why, but it does work.
Yeah,
and it's still working, kind of. Other things.
Content-wise? Anything like what you were wearing or music?
Yeah, things like that. The type of music that's like, for example, going around at the time, like, you know, especially with Afro.
Yeah.
Like, it's Isaac the one that really got me into the Afro thing.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been doing it for years, but now it's the perfect time because Afro's going around like everywhere, especially on social media. There's so many like bigger pages and whatnot that promote Afro.
Yeah.
So when they caught on to like one of our videos, it was like, okay, they saw the content that we dropped. And they liked it. They liked the ideas. Like, for example, certain locations that you do your videos at. It's not just a thing of although sometimes it can work, but it's not just a thing of I'm just gonna put my phone down and record in the bedroom or whatnot. Some of them can blow off, of course, but it's like we always try to think of, okay, what can we add? What different sceneries can we give people in terms of what we're wearing? Like, what are you giving the people? Like, me and my brother, we look similar, so we just said, okay, MIK twins, you know, things like that. And people are like, oh, look at these twin brothers dancing, you know.
And in reality, you're how many years are different?
He's like 7 years older than me.
Cool. So that's like exposing you now on social media.
They're
not even twins.
Headlines.
Or all your engagement just drops tomorrow. It was the twin things that did it all along.
No, but it's not even like we say MIK twins, but a lot of people already know that.
Yeah, I don't think, to be honest, saying that, I don't think anyone thinks you're actually same age twins. Even like going on your own profiles, like. Yeah. Also, Isaac's a fucking monster at the moment. Like, Jesus.
Well, tell him to stop.
Yeah, mate. Like, yo, if you guys go on, what's his Insta? Isaac MIK.
Isaac MIK. Yeah.
Dude has been hitting the gym. He is huge. I heard rumors that he has to turn sideways to walk through doors. That's all I heard.
Is it?
Yeah. And if he goes straight, it just won't work. And he's like broken a few door frames and stuff because of his huge shoulders. So
I'm not surprised, bro.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah. So okay. So you started paying attention, and these kind of it was the Afro stuff that
really took off for us. Yeah.
So do you feel like that forces you to? Because I noticed that as well. A lot of your Afro dance. What's the right term? Afro dance.
Yeah, Afro.
Yeah. They blow up a lot. So did that kind of make you feel like, we can't post so much light feet stuff, we can't post so much, because like, I mean, for those that don't know, you're also good at a lot of other shit. And like you do your I was talking to you about this the other day, but your hip-hop choreography or your like kind of street dance or whatever choreography is fucking dope as well. Sick. But so is the light feet, your hip-hop battles, but does it force you to be like, like that stuff isn't as popular as that stuff, so I've got to post more of that? Does it kind of dictate what you do? I say it's a mixture. I wouldn't say dictate, but it's just like being smart about it, kind of thing. Yeah, so it's like when we did the Afro stuff, it worked. We did that for a while, did it for a while. The pages were reposting and whatnot. That gave us a certain crowd. So now I feel like I have a platform to show them different sides of me. Okay.
You know, so it's like kind of going strategically about it. So if I was to do like one Afro video, it's going off, and then obviously people probably want to see more Afro and stuff, and I just randomly put like a light feet thing in.
Yeah.
They're just like, maybe they'll like it, they may not like it, but strategically it made sense to just keep giving them some Afro. So you
kind of like concentrate on like riding the wave a bit if it's happening.
Yeah. Riding the wave a bit, and then now, after a while, using my platform now to show them different sides, like say the hip hop stuff or light feet stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like show them different sides.
Okay, that's interesting. And how? Because I mean, the thing is with social media is a lot of people are like, I mean, I don't want to get into this too much now because I get stressed about social media or about people getting stressed over social media. That stresses me. And I want to talk about this more, but with different people as well. But like, I think people think of social media as like, oh, this is my like this is my circle of friends and blah, blah, blah. And then at the same time, they think of it as a business thing, and those two things don't work. So then when they're posting this business stuff and they feel like maybe what I was suggesting of like that they have to post certain things or being strategic about it, they then go like, oh, you know, it's such a shame that I have the pressure to like, I can't just post a thing with me and my girlfriend or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you can.
Yeah.
But if you want to use it as a business tool, use it as a business tool. You know, whether or not your relationship and your personal life falls into the realm of like promoting your business through people seeing you as a real person and connecting with you. Because I think that's also important on social media. We want to see that you're a real person, not just like a faceless business. You're not Nike, you know what I mean? And even the big brands are starting to get into that of like, making you connect with them more on a human level. But it annoys me when people are like, oh, I just want to post stuff in my personal life and not it's like, well, do it then, but you're not going to get all the likes and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. It's just, even when I'm on Instagram, it's like there's some things I give a shit about, there's some things I don't give a shit about. Like I might follow you for a certain reason because you're my friend, but then there's someone else might follow you and not give a shit about your life, but care only because they love your videos. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
There's a lot of that.
And I think, people will feel pressure to be like, oh, I have to only post this, or I want to post this, and I want to post this. And it's just, I think it's like a thing of like, what are you using it for? Is it a business tool or is it not? And so do you ever feel like where there's stuff where like you want to share your personal life and stuff, or do you ever feel a pressure of that? I mean, I've just cussed people that do that. So if you say it now, it'll be really awkward, but no, I'm joking.
No, the thing is, I don't post as much about my personal life. I don't know if you've...
I mean, I think you're quite not quiet, but like you're quite a reserved person in real life about your personal life anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of reflected. I didn't take it as like because you're doing it for business, you don't post that. I just think that's kind of what you're like in general. You won't, if we're all sitting around at dinner with dancers and stuff, you're not going to be like, hey guys, guess what turbulent emotions I'm going through tonight. You know what I mean? Like you're more going to like save that for when you're really connecting with people. So
right. So that's kind of what, like you said, that's what I'm reflecting on the gram as well. But like you said, nowadays brands and stuff also like people that show that side of them as well. So if you're thinking to grow your Instagram page, sometimes I'm in between like, okay, should I also give him some of my personal thing, or should I just keep it the way it is now, just like literally content, just dance things, modeling things or whatnot. So it's like kind of rip in between as well. Like, should I give him some of the personal stuff, which I haven't done yet, really?
What would you class as like personal stuff? Like, what would you feel like? Because like you'll share like, I don't know, like a picture of you or like you hanging out with people. So like, what is you like sharing something personal? Is it like captions? Is it the content of what's in the picture or whatever?
I think things out of my personal life, like girlfriend stuff and some things in my family maybe that I just wouldn't reveal to the world, type of thing. Okay. I wouldn't even know what specifically, because family's pretty out there as well, like Isaac and Prince and stuff. Some people don't know about maybe like situations that you'd be in, like, oh, we're just chilling for Isaac's birthday. There's some people on the gram that literally tell everything about their life. So, and that's like the type of things I don't think I could do.
Do you have any examples? Not like of people. You don't have to cuss. I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. But what is something that like you maybe would have seen someone post that you're like, I feel uncomfortable with that. I have the same thing, so don't worry, you're not alone.
Like, I'm not really the type of guy, for example, to cuss people out or make a big fuss of things on the gram, for example.
Right. In if you're pissed about something.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be pissed and start ranting every week now.
Yeah.
Or like indirecting people or doing things like that.
Like Wiley. Yeah.
Storms 2-0. But yeah.
You heard that from Dennis. Wiley, if you're listening, which you're not, come for Dennis.
But then book me if you have a music video. But yeah, like things like that. I don't think I'm like the type of person to do that. Like,
Right.
just like cussing people out every other week.
Why do you think that is? Like, but are you? Because I mean, being your friend, I'm a bit like of an insider on this, but I don't feel like you're that type of person anyway.
Yeah.
You're always the person like when me and you have conversation, I'm always the person that's pissed about shit. And like, I'm not necessarily the person to rant on Insta either, but I will in my personal life, if you know what I mean. So it's like a conscious decision of like, oh, don't be a dick on Instagram, but I will come in and be like, oh, this person's a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? And whenever we've had these conversations, I'll be like, oh, don't you think like blah, blah. And you're always like, oh yeah, you know, man, but like they're just trying to live their life. You're always the one that makes me feel like an asshole because I'm like, oh, they're so annoying. And you're like, yeah, but have you thought that, you know, maybe they're going through something? And I'm like, oh, now you made me feel bad. But like, so do you feel that's a bit easier for you because you don't have those, I mean, maybe you're hiding it from me, but like, like that you don't really have those tendencies to like, feel that you're not that much of a person with like hate in you or like you don't get annoyed very easily.
The things I do get annoyed, of course, but it's like I wouldn't be the type. Like I'll try to see the bigger picture.
Yeah,
I'll try to see the bigger picture of things. Like that's why I'll be like, oh, but have you thought maybe they had this or this, that? Try not to get too much bad vibes of people because in the end of the day, it's affecting me if I do get mad about things that maybe won't even change anything in my everyday life.
Yeah.
So it's like,
man, I need to take this fucking advice. Yeah.
I just need to. I just kind of differentiate like what things are gonna matter in the end. If like you know, because if I go off at people, it's just gonna take my energy. You know.
That is some bars. That is some bars. Again, Wiley, if you're listening. Yeah, no, that's very true. But then, so what things do you feel like? Because for me, I think like people love relationships online, and it's like that's one thing
as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing that like I feel a bit conflicted about. Like I'll post stuff, but some people I feel like use it and they like put some long caption that like took them.
Milk it.
Yeah, milk it. Yes, perfect example. So. But at the same time, people love that, especially with celebrities and stuff, you know, or people like on that verge, if they know they're in a new relationship, people love that shit. So do you ever feel like you'd get to a state, do you feel like there's a right way to do that? Do you feel like that's something that you might like use? I'm not saying there's necessarily something wrong with it. I wouldn't
say there's anything wrong with it either.
I just wouldn't milk it in the way that I feel some people do. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that? If you were like, I don't know if you want to put your relationship status out there, bro. Listen, Dennis's DMs are already full, all right? If I mention that he's single. No, but like, if you were like, had someone like that and you were wanting to be public with it, do you think there's a way you would be like, maybe I can work this into the strategy of my public image and stuff like that, or not really?
I feel like you don't have to hide it type of thing. You don't have to hide it. But then again, when people do it in terms of like milking it, I feel like that's a conscious decision. So they know that they're going to put it out there and maybe they do want a certain response to it. So it's just consciously, they're doing it to maybe get a response. So for me, if I was to put it up, I wouldn't put it up with a conscious decision to milk it or try to get a response for it. I would literally just put it up if I felt like actually putting it up, or if I did feel like, okay, maybe I am going to give people like a kind of update of what is happening in my personal life, but just at the surface. I wouldn't go in too deep, and, you know, type of thing. So I feel like at that level it's still healthy. So if you, for example, okay, boom, that's my girlfriend, love her, XX, whatever.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with feeling proud and like you said, like putting it on a surface level, and the surface level thing means different things to different people. But
true.
I think for me, I always like to think of social media as like there's a big room full of everyone that's following me, and when I post, I'm like getting on the microphone and being like, guys, I've got something to say, and then I'm saying it, you know what I mean? So it's like, if it's like, I've like had a 1 year, 2 year, whatever anniversary with my girlfriend, and I'm like, hey everyone, I'm just stopping you to say like, I fucking love this girl, she's awesome, blah blah blah. Like, then like I'm consciously saying it, like with the intent of like, I'm announcing this to the world kind of thing. Whether or not
Yeah.
anyone gives a shit is a different story, like probably not, but that's my intention behind it. But I think it's when people act like they're not saying it to people, they just, it's for me. It's like, well, if it's for you, you wouldn't fucking post it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if that's relevant, but just something that I was thinking.
True spit.
But yeah, I think it's like that thing of like, you have to be conscious that you're
putting it out there.
You're putting it out there, which is if you're doing it with that intention of like, I'm announcing this because I'm proud, because I'm happy, because I'm like in love, because I'm excited, like, or because I'm announcing something because I want you all. I'm starting a class next week. I'm saying this because I want you all to come or to tell someone. Like, that's fine. But yeah, I think it's when people are, like you said, like maybe consciously doing something and trying to get a response. Yeah. But then also what I guess annoys me is when they act like they're not doing it to get a response. It's like, it's fine if you just want to be like, yo, I'm in love, or yo, I'm doing this, but just, yeah, be real about it, I guess. There's a way to be real about social media for sure, which I think people don't always hit the nail on the head with.
But then again, you know, what's real? It's different.
No, you're doing it to me again. You're making me feel like an asshole.
Bro, it's like people have a different interpretation of what's real.
You are correct. Yeah. But I can never fucking argue with you when you say these things. You always make me, I'm always like, immediately you say one line and I'm like, yeah, I'm a terrible person. That's true.
But it's just facts, yo.
Yeah. And it's worse because this is all being fucking recorded, so I can't take this back. I'm just going to edit that bit out. I'm not.
Bloody hell.
All right, cool. And so let's talk about the Afro dance stuff, because like you said, that's been quite a big part of at least the last 2 years for you.
Yeah.
And MIK and Isaac were like, you guys were doing that before anyway, even independent of you. What's that like in Berlin? Is there a lot of people that are interested? Because I feel like that's quite a worldwide thing. It's like, even I was watching Drake's Rap Radar interview. Did you watch it?
Yeah, only 1 hour of it.
Did you get to where they were talking about Afro beats and stuff? No, he was just mentioning like they were talking about him doing being influenced by like grime and Afro and all those type of things. And
dope.
But yeah, you should watch it, and then watch Joe Budden rant about it. It's really funny. But yeah, like he was saying about him help or being a part of it, its rise and stuff. So I think it is quite like a worldwide thing that the music as well as the dance is spreading a lot. Is that quite a big thing in Berlin? And is it like you get a lot of people that are interested in those classes and stuff more than maybe the other classes? Or
people are really interested in like Isaac's classes are full right now at MIK dance classes, because everyone sees these Afro dance videos on Instagram. They just want to be able to dance to it like that. Or even if they go out, they hear a lot of Afro beat and things like that.
Yeah.
All these like
in the clubs and stuff?
Clubs, yeah.
Right.
All these trendy dances, and they just want to be able to be part of that wave. So they go to these classes and search for it. And, you know? And right now, in Germany, Isaac is the man. Like,
right.
That's
just hard facts, yo. Dennis was about to say, yo, if anyone wants to disagree.
That's just like I don't think many can argue with that.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like, I'm not in Germany, but it looks like he's fucking killing it. So
yeah. So he's the man for that. So
Isaac MIK on Instagram, guys. Yeah.
And we've been doing that because we were part of a like a TV talent show, Got to Dance, in 2013, and we were doing Afro back then as well.
Oh yeah.
So
sick. People
noticed it. And people loved it as well, but
now that it's become a thing, it's a bit more relevant, and they're like, "Oh, that's that shit. That's all they're doing."
That's that thing, yeah. So they kind of feel like, okay, we've kept it authentic. We've been doing it even before there was like a big hype around it, and then they feel like, okay, they can trust us with the knowledge that we provide to them, type of thing. Yeah. And
also your family's from Ghana.
Yeah.
And you went there. When did you go there?
2015, 16.
How long were you there?
3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was to visit people or just to go or
go back roots?
Yeah.
Try.
You have family there still?
Yeah, okay. A lot of family out there.
All right.
Yeah, so we went to visit family, and just because the last time I went to Ghana was when I was like, before that trip was when I was young, very young. So it was just like, I need to go there and see what's up. And
did you learn anything dance-wise out there, or more just kind of soaking up the culture?
Soaking up the culture. Dance-wise, we did like some workshops and
taught. Or
we taught some workshops, and did a show out there, 2 shows out there, but not much. We didn't really go and take any workshops or things like that, to be honest.
Okay.
But the thing is, with us, it's in our culture. So when we went out, we danced a lot, even just outside, and when music was playing. It's just part of our culture. We dance, so that's what I soaked up.
Yeah, it's not so much like learning,
going to class or whatever. It's just outside, music is playing, moving. That's just
the kind of like organic way of it growing.
Right.
So then I mean, your family is Ghanaian, like it's kind of part of your culture, and like even, do you feel like even being here or being in Germany, you still got that kind of African culture within your family kind of thing? You still feel like that's like you grew up with that influence?
Yeah.
Even though you weren't there?
Yeah. Because my dad speaks Chi in the house.
I was going to say one thing. How long have we been friends?
Bro.
8 years,
like,
10 years, 12 years?
I'd say been friends or known each other?
Known each other.
So
and
since
at least 10 years.
12, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce your second name.
Bro, that's a very sticky question because it's different everywhere you go.
Oh, really?
So in Ghana, you say
because it's a Ghanaian name.
Yeah, you say Chre. You actually say Chre. Chre.
Okay, but it's spelled for everyone listening.
Kyere.
Chre. Okay.
So for the sake of other people just getting confused when I say Chre, I say, in Germany I say Kyere, in England I say Kyere.
Okay, just whatever. Whatever's going to shut people up. Yeah,
but the right way is Chre.
And that's the Ghanaian language.
Yeah.
It's a name from the Ghanaian language.
Yeah.
Which is called tree.
Tree.
Like, how do you spell that? Here we go again.
T-W-I.
T-W-I.
Yeah.
Again, say it.
Tree.
Okay, I'm not going to try.
Yeah, bro.
But that's the Ghanaian language, and your name comes from that.
Yeah, my surname.
Right. So, carry on with what you're saying. Sorry.
What was I saying?
I forgot. That's why I just said carry on with what you're saying. So you're talking about growing up. Oh, your dad speaks
also
the language.
Chi in the household,
yeah,
as well as German and English. So it was a mixture of all of that, and going to like say Ghanaian parties and things like family parties
of like a kind of a community of Ghanaian people
in Germany or here, even in London.
Right. So you kind of stayed connected with the culture.
Yeah.
Right.
The music that was playing in the household as well. Predominantly like Ghanaian music, also some reggae and stuff. Yeah. So definitely grew up in a like very musically
inclined household.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. And so now that this is like I know you're gonna have such an angelic take on this, but like,
let's go. Let's do it.
You're gonna make me feel horrible. What, like, it's become like a massive hype around the world. Yeah. So you've got people in like London, London's not a great example, but you've got people that are like very far removed from the culture of the thing, right? Doing these dance styles and really like even teaching it and like living it and with the dance styles, but maybe not necessarily the culture behind it. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that? Because I feel like this is a really interesting question, especially with the Afro stuff. And like I have the same questions with dancehall and even hip hop. But like how... it's one thing people loving the dance and finding it cool and blah, blah, blah. But then is there a point where it's like you're kind of taking the dance style and making money from it without caring about the people who made it? Or where's the line of cultural appropriation and that sort of thing? Do you find? Or do you not really think it's like everyone is free to love everything they want to kind of thing?
That's probably more towards the views I have on it.
Yeah.
Like, because first of all, I didn't create the dance style. It's like, I don't know anyone that did. Like you see, Afro comes from many different countries. It goes a long way back. So,
because that's the thing as well. Like, I feel like Afro, it's not like even with hip hop, we say like it came from New York, and then it have these influences in LA and all other places. But it's America that we kind of agree a lot of hip hop started in America, right? Wherever the influences came from, but Afro is not one country. It's like it's named after a continent.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a lot of different influences all in one thing.
Style.
Yeah,
it's like because there's many different dances that like the term that a lot of people use is like say Afrofusion or Afro beats, just to put all these different styles that were created in different countries into one term, like one umbrella term. And it's like if people I don't know in Serbia or whatever are doing Afro, it's like, yeah, why not kind of thing. It's like I don't have a take on it where I say they're not supposed to do it or whatnot, as long as they do it in a respectful way. Because I don't know if you remember
the Russian thing.
Yeah,
I knew you
bro.
Yeah. That was a bit
you know
much.
what I mean?
That was dancehall though, right? or twerking or
yeah.
basically it was fucking nothing.
It was
but
nuts, bro.
That what the fuck with
you know
the
what I mean?
fucking
She had like
head,
a whole.
but it was like a blackface thing, right?
Yeah, with
The fuck, man.
makeup and whatnot. You know, that's taking it too
So
far.
okay, so that was like very extreme example, but that was them like taking the piss, or even if they weren't doing it, because I swear the girl was like saying, "Oh, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful," and it's like, oh, well, that's even worse. But like that's a very extreme example of like this is so obvious that you shouldn't fucking do this stuff.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, there was a twerking class competition in
There was
Russia.
a competition, I think, and
And this woman, I don't know who the fuck she is, and I don't want to like give her props on here, but like she was teaching the class, I guess, and she did a demo with like a big helmet on, which was like in blackface, and was twerking and doing Afro dance stuff.
trying to imitate Afro, African women or whatever that dance. Afro,
and then was confused by the fucking uproar it caused. But yeah, like that's a very extreme example. But is there a line when it's like, okay, you're from like Spain teaching a Ghana, you're not Ghanaian, like does it matter to you or you don't? Because like I've heard different opinions. I don't quite know where I stand.
For me, it's not that big of an issue as long as like you kind of just do your research. You know,
in terms of what? In terms of like doing the dance style properly.
Yeah, like the vocabulary that you give out and things like that, like the type of music that you dance to, that you just kind of like in tune with what the culture is about and the steps that it carries and things like that, you know? That
you're like doing it from a place of appreciation
and
rather than taking the piss.
Yeah, like in terms appreciation and just knowing what you're doing type of things. Like with hip hop, like just knowing, okay, you're kind of doing your research on that specific step or whatnot. Like knowing maybe it came from New York and knowing that, I don't know, different like vocabulary that you put out there and just trying to get the essence of the move and things like that, you know? So it's not just that you give out like watered down steps to the people. But you can see that you're really actually into it. You can just tell when someone dances Afro, like who's really with it or who's just trying to imitate things that they saw from Instagram or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, with most dancers, you can see that like straight away.
Interesting. And would you, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of like split, I guess. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And sometimes I'm like, why not let people live, I guess.
Because that way it's like if people... Like the question is who's going to be able to say someone in Serbia is not allowed to teach a Afro workshop? Who is it? Because like I don't know, for like hip hop or whatever, you could be like Link or I don't know these type of people that started this. But for Afro, who's going to be like you're not allowed to do
right? Because
no one
there wasn't like named creators.
There's no named creators. Like there's no one.
It's more cultural dances.
It's cultural dance, you know. Because even if you go to Ghana and you're from Serbia and you ask people out there to if you're for Serbia, I keep saying Serbia, but I'm not
very random. But I think because you went to Serbia, right?
I went to Serbia.
It's not. He's not just attacking Serbia.
And I saw people out there doing Afro, which I thought was dope.
All right.
But even if you go out there to Ghana and you ask people out there to teach you the traditional dances, they're not going to be like, no, like it's just us that's allowed to dance it. They'll teach you openly and be happy for you to do it. You know, and then and it's another thing if you then go back and start a workshop, be like, yo, this
is what I mean. But like where that's a sort of line of like, okay, you've gone to this place, taken the stuff, and then you're coming back and you're making money from it, while maybe these people aren't making money from it and they're just like living their life and like, oh yeah, like we taught this guy some steps, and meanwhile you're making a business off it, like
right.
I don't know where the line. And I'm saying this from a place of a guy who. My family's half Indian, half American, white American, and I do hip hop, and it's not my culture. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm very aware that I'm like a guest in the culture, but that's kind of why it's something that is on my mind, because I'm like, where's the line of this? Like, no matter how respectfully I treat hip hop or that someone else might treat Afro. So it's like it's not my culture and I'm making a living off it. So yeah, I don't know.
It's a thing to definitely think about, but to me it's like, as long as, like I said, you try to get the essence of it, you're really involved, you can connect with maybe the community that was built, the Afro community that was built now in Europe or whatever, you know, you will get your respect from the right people type of thing. And then people will know,
that you're like not taking the piss out of it and you're trying to take it seriously and you're trying to care.
Yeah, type of thing, yeah.
And you feel like a lot of people feel that way in the kind of, let's say, like community of people that do Afro dance who are actually from Africa. Do you feel like a lot of them feel like that? Or do you feel like you hear some people being like, is it split decisions that some people are like, no, you shouldn't do it unless you're like from the place or from that culture?
Wait, sorry, I was distracted for a second. Sorry,
it's all good. No. I was saying, because I'm not in that community at all, never taken a class in it or whatever, but do you feel like in the community of people that do Afro, that's kind of the general feeling is everyone's pretty accepting and like, as long as you're trying and making an effort and you really care, then live your best life kind of thing? And I
feel so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those that are really... people see those that are really dope, and those are the ones that usually get booked. You know, it's like in most styles type of thing. I don't think, and not many people are brave enough to even give, like, say, an Afro class just like that, because Afro is you need to have certain grooves and certain flows that are not easily just imitated or faked. You know, so people can instantly see if you're just trying to like kind of making a fool of yourself,
and you won't blow up unless you've got stuff.
So I feel like
that's interesting. Yeah, I think this is definitely a conversation to be continued for me personally, whether or not on the podcast, but with other people of other styles. I think this is something I'm really interested in, of like coming from someone who's, like I said, I think there's a slight difference with hip hop because there is a hip hop culture in the UK now, in where we came into it. Like, I grew up around grime. I grew up listening to like grime when it first started. There's like stuff that came from the UK that I guess was part of my culture, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as that culture came from somewhere else, it then developed itself in here. But I don't feel like there's an independent... Oh man, I might be saying some bullshit, but I don't feel like there's an independent culture of Afro dance, or because like say you said you went to parties and stuff in the UK, but it's still African parties. It's still people who are African doing those dances because they're from Africa and they've created a community here. Does that make sense? It's not like the UK hip hop culture I was around wasn't American New Yorkers who came over and started rapping here. It was people that had, you know, like developed that culture after being influenced by America. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's not, you know what I mean? Like, am I making any sense?
Yeah, no.
But it's just something that interests. I don't really have like a question, or it's just something that interests me. Of like, okay, where's the line of when are we just doing someone else's thing and making money off it and not doing much back? Or
interesting. Like side note thing. Like when I was in Thailand, I went to an Afro party.
Okay.
Full of like just Thai people.
Oh,
which
nice.
I thought was dope.
Yeah.
It's like they were playing like proper deep like Afrobeat type of songs. I was like, yo,
like they know what they're doing, yeah.
You know, which was dope.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, yo, like me, my brother, and like 2-3 other people were probably like the only blacks there, but they were proper like enjoying the culture, you know, singing along to the songs and stuff, which I thought was dope. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, that is dope.
Yeah, you know.
But then it's like, I guess, say with that, it's like there's no like Thai moves in Afrobeats that they've like created. You know what I mean? Grime is something that came from London, I guess, or like UK at least. So that's like it's a UK creation, even though the roots came from like somewhere else. And like, I mean, we had our own roots in like garage and stuff, but the hip hop side of that came from America. But we then created something of our own version. So there's no like Thai version of Afrobeats. They were doing the African version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why me being like, okay, cool. Like, and I all that to say, I fucking love when culture spread and people like can appreciate. Like, my life wouldn't be what it is without hip hop or without a lot of these influences. But it's just something on my mind of like, okay, where should we draw the line? What should we be doing to like kind of I guess, give back or whatever. But yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, they kind of leave that out in the air because I don't really have an answer for it. And it's always good to end the podcast on a deep note. Make everyone depressed. No, yeah, no, I mean, I think it's definitely something important to think about, especially if it's not your culture. Even if there's no like necessarily answer or you're not taking action straight away. For me, it's like, all right, this is something I want to think about and have on my mind and speak about of like, what should we be doing? Should we be conscious of this? Should we and I want to have conversations like with you and with other people and be like, what do I do? But yeah, but no, that's dope that you're very like open and sharing guy, and that's like our conversation. This is not just for the podcast. Our conversations always go like this, me being like, isn't this fucked up? And you're like, well, not really. Like everyone has their own life and love is great. But no, that's good. That's why you're a good friend, and that's why I like having you around, because
you're getting paid for this.
Yeah?
Are you getting paid for this?
No. Yeah, Isaac's paying. It's like Dennis has got a bad rep online, say some nice shit. he's ruining MIK. No, but for real, it's nice to have like friends that like pull you in different directions and don't just encourage your how you are and kind of challenge. Like we always think of, I guess, friends challenging each other in the sense of like you think one thing and you're like, oh, why do you think that way? But it's like you challenge me in a way of like making me not be such an asshole. You know what I mean? Or like challenge me not by saying like you're wrong about stuff, but more like, well, this is how I'm going to live my life. So have you considered this? You know?
But it's good because I feel like that's where we kind of, what do you call it?
No idea. The action you're doing has nothing to do with anything. Like, I don't know what this
that's
means.
where we like share each other. Oh my gosh. Are you going to cut this out?
No, probably not. So you figure it out, bro.
But at this point, because you're saying we've seen two different points, but I also take your point into account a lot of the times as well.
Okay.
It helps me think differently
like
too.
we exchange the thoughts and find the middle ground, I guess.
Exactly. So I feel like with that, you've helped. Like, I think if you saw my story last time when I said like a lot of your views also shaped the way I thought.
Yeah, I always find that weird when you say that because I don't think of you as like younger than me or anything like that. So a lot of the time I think I just talk and I'm like, Dennis probably just goes, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like
I take it in, all of it.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I think that's dope. I think you're quite I mean, I don't want to just end the podcast with me just sucking your dick for a while, but like, I think like, having said that, I'm still going to do it. But like that you're one of my, because you're how old now?
22.
22. So you're 8 years younger than me. When are you 23? This year?
June, yeah.
And I'll be 31. So you're like, 8 years younger than me. But like, you're one of the people that it's like, you've given me as much as I've given you, I feel. Jeez. But you're like 8 years younger than me. You know what I mean? Like I've got friends that are my age or older that I feel like have given me equal or more. They've given me, and they give me advice and stuff. But I always think of that. I'm like, fuck, Dennis, like he really like gave me good advice and like teaches me shit. And I'm like, but he's 8 years younger than me. So, and I always say that's a testament as well to your family and your brothers. Like they're a good like support network, and I think you guys like hold each other up and stuff, which is nice. Yeah.
Same,
emotional shit.
For real, bruv.
No, but yeah, big love to MIK, everyone we mentioned.
MIK, G5, Kings of Spank, Empire.
Yeah, all M1s, Wiley, Stormzy, big shout out. I don't know when this is coming out, so that might have all blown over. Big up Lorena, lady behind the camera today. Oh, Lorena's been needing the toilet for a good half an hour. But yeah, all right, cool. I appreciate you coming on and hope this one was interesting and people gave a shit to be real. Yeah, definitely leave me feedback, any questions for Dennis or whatever, and I'll make sure he checks wherever you've left the question.
Boom.
Probably should have asked the questions before, like asked if anyone had any questions for you, but we're still learning.
Right,
I don't know when this is going to be released, but this is the second ever episode we've done, so you might get released as like third, or if someone's more interesting than you,
Yeah, cool.
Nah, I'm playing. All right, cool. Thanks for coming, man. And yeah, let's fucking relax and hang out now.
Boom.
All
right. Thank you for having me, bro.
Safe, yo.
Over now.
Warm, mate.